Welcome to our backyard here. I figured I'd do this video outside today. Such beautiful weather here in Los Angeles always. This is like my perfect weather. It's not too hot, like it's got this nice cool Canadian breeze, crisp air, fresh air, and the sun is just always out. So I'm definitely not complaining with this weather here ever since coming back from India. Today I'm talking a little bit about Nirahara Samyama, which is the liquid-only diet journey that I've been on for the past 230 days now. And right away, if somebody's new here and they're saying, what the heck is this guy doing? Why is he on liquids only for 230 days? I'll give a brief explanation about that, and then I'm gonna give 5 tips for those people that are following me on this journey and are wanting or maybe already exploring Nirahara Samyama for themselves. I'll give you those 5 tips, some things that will just help you along your journey of being on liquids only. So the first thing is Samyama means exploring the inner potential that you have innate within you. And that could be exploring any inner technology, not just this Nirahara Samyama. Patanjali talks a lot about various different samyamas that lead to extraordinary powers. But ultimately, all samyamas lead to that expression of an extraordinary power. And so Nirahara Samyama is exactly that. It's exploring the potential of getting energy from other sources other than just food or the earth element. We can, as human beings, my guru says, if birds can fly, you can fly. If fish can swim, you can swim. If plants can get energy from the sun rays, then you can do that as well. And so Nirahara Samyama is the exploration of this possibility of taking energy in from various different sources, not just from food itself. And so this is something that was really intriguing to me ever since I learned about it in 2014. And so since then, I've been on this long journey of tapping into this possibility. And so recently I've decided to make this as a lifestyle choice, and I've gone 230 days of no solid foods. And it's been such an incredible journey. The benefits, I mean, mentally, physically, spiritually, they're all through the roof. Physically, I've never felt cleaner. My body feels so light, and not just because I've lost a ton of weight, I've maintained weight and even put on muscle mass during this process. So physically, I feel incredible. I feel completely so clean inside. That's the best way I could really describe it, because I know exactly everything that's going into me. My digestion is on point. My digestive system, it has to do zero work basically, which makes me lighter because I'm not needing to consume as much, just because there's so little energy actually put into breaking down the calories and breaking down the food and digesting it. Not only physically though, with just internally, I still feel strong. I'm still being able to do intense yoga. I still do weight resistance training. So physically, I feel amazing from this process. Mentally, so much clarity. I honestly do feel no mental issues at all, because I do focus on making sure that I get proper nutrients and I'm supporting my body in that way right now. And then spiritually, there's no greater process that I've experienced where the Kundalini energy can just flow so fluidly and seamlessly. And I know it's just because I have no junk in my stomach. My guru's always talking to us about keeping a clean stomach. And so I've been doing that, and the result is the Kundalini activation is just incredible. I have very deep meditations. So if you're somebody that's interested in even just exploring this a little bit to see if you can deepen your meditation, 100% this is a direct method in doing that. And so my guru is always saying in general, keep a clean stomach and I can give you enlightenment. And I can tell you from my experience with some of the meditations I've had, I know that it's because I just have a simple, clean stomach. So if this is at all something that you're finding intriguing in any way, go to a website called befoodfree.org, and you can learn more information and sign up and get initiated into this process, because this isn't something where you just you jump into. You really need to have that spiritual context, that this is about you exploring the inner potential that is innate within you, and really about connecting more to the divine. And even Mahatma Gandhi spoke a lot about the importance of fasting and how that's a direct way for you to connect to the divine, to connect to God. And so to learn more, definitely go and check out that link. And if you want to get that initiation, you can. Now, if you want to learn 5 tips that I have and some of the things that I've done throughout these 230 days, then that's what I'm going to dive into right now. First, I'm going to tie my hair up because it looks a little bit scraggly. Okay, so the first thing that I want to give a tip for is actually having the right spiritual context. So I've already kind of mentioned that. Really understanding that this isn't about you just losing weight or you trying to give your body as much or as little nutrition as possible. This is about exploring a spiritual dimension of yourself. So if you're somebody that doesn't really believe in God or even believe in the possibility to connect completely with the divine and become the divine yourself, then right away this process isn't probably for you, because that's really what it's about. And if you have that spiritual context, that it really is going to be the main focus and the main key is about connecting to Paramashiva, connecting to the divine in a deep way. Now, the second thing that I would say as a tip is to really be safe with this process. I've been a part of Nirahara Samyama 5 different times, and I should mention that it's actually a 21-day initiation process. So you don't need to be doing this for 230 days or anything like that. You can do this for 21 days itself and then just stop and just, if you want to try it again, you can do it for another 21 days or so. So I did that 5 separate times, and then this 5th time I decided I'm just going to keep going and explore this and go as long as I can, because my desire is to truly be living solely off of prana, life energy, life force energy, and to one day go completely beyond food and the nutrients that I feel logically that I need. And so the second tip is, personally, I've decided to take a very safe, long-term approach to making sure that I'm taking care of my body as I transition from no solid foods to liquids only, and to one day hopefully off of prana alone. So my approach to this is to not necessarily fight all of these different battles all at once. And what I mean by that is, when you transition to liquids only, you're going to crave certain foods that you missed. You're going to crave just chewing. Your body is actually going to reach out for foods sometimes unconsciously. So with all of these different things that is going on, I don't think it's smart personally to fight all of these battles, and then also the battle of not providing your body with the right nutrients that it's used to obtaining. So when you first start off on Nirahara Samyama, I personally recommend making sure that you're getting all the right nutrients, just because, one, any nutritionist is going to say, you're freaking crazy if you're not doing that. And anybody that listens to this and says, this guy is crazy, how could he be recommending to people to not get the right nutrients? Depending on your spiritual path, the depth of your current journey, how intense your seeking is, as a general recommendation, I say get all of the right nutrients in you still, and you can do that through liquids alone. And that brings me to the third tip, which is the right nutrients that you need. And this means everything from macronutrients and micronutrients, various different vitamins and minerals. I myself take a multivitamin every day. I've talked about this before in other videos. I take a multivitamin from a company called Brain MD. They've sponsored me on this journey, and so they provide everything that I need, as far as, not everything I need as far as micronutrients, but a lot of the vitamins and minerals that I'm missing on a day-to-day basis, because let's face it, it's kind of difficult to get absolutely everything on a vegan diet alone, never mind just on liquids only. And so I do take a supplement, but making sure that you're consuming a lot of different varieties of foods. So one way to do that, and one way to make sure that you are getting everything, is to make sure that you just have your staple supplements that you can take. I also take spirulina and chlorella just for some healthy greens every day. So I have these daily drinks or daily vitamins that I know I'm getting, and I would really recommend this for a lot of people in general, just because the modern diet, there just isn't enough variety that I'm seeing in other people as well. And so that brings me to the fourth tip, which is to make sure that you have some staple meals. Every morning I start with a fruit smoothie that's 3/4 cups of frozen blueberries, 3/4 cups of mangoes. I put about a half cup of spinach in there, 2 scoops of protein powder, vanilla protein powder, some chia seeds, half a banana, and then a little scoop of ashwagandha powder. And every morning, this is actually my first meal. So I start off my day, I do my yoga, and then I go to the gym and I come back, and it's the first meal that I get within me. And then after that, what I have is a liquid porridge. So I cook up some oatmeal, blend it up, keep it nice and liquid. I have a couple big scoops of peanut butter in that as well. Put a little bit of jaggery in there, so it's provided me some iron as well. And then after my porridge, what I have is a liquid drink, and that's that Brain MD drink that I talked about, where it's just a multivitamin in a liquid form. So after I consume that, I basically know exactly how my morning is. I'm at around 55 grams of protein, around 1,300 calories. And then from there, I kind of know that, that's my starting point. Protein is obviously a big question mark, not only for liquid diet, but for vegans as well. From my experience, you don't need anything more than 0.7 grams of protein per pound of lean muscle mass. So right now I'm at about 187 pounds. I shoot for around 100 grams of protein per day. I always basically fall short of that, but I'm still able to put on muscle and I feel strong. And I do believe that this is because the digestion process itself is so much easier. It takes less energy to break down and convert the food into my body. And so therefore, you don't need as much protein. You don't need as much calories. And again, this is my experience. So I'm not saying this is going to be the experience for everybody, but it's working for me with sources such as lentil and tofu as my main source of protein from various foods that I consume. I can say it's really not that difficult to get enough protein in this liquid only journey. And so that's one of my staple meals actually, is to make sure that I have every day. I call it a drita soup. I consume lentils with tofu in there. Then some other staples that I have every day are my turmeric tea in the morning, along with my neem tea. Every day I also have a tea called CCF tea. So I am consuming that on a consistent basis as well. In the evenings for my dinner, I always try and make sure that I'm mixing up the vegetables. So I have various different fresh vegetables, either chopped up into a soup or pre-made soup that I put together. And that's another tip, is if you're really going to do the Nirahara Samyama diet and go long term with this, really do your best to make sure that, one, you're taking in things fresh, because in Ayurveda everything should be consumed as fresh as possible. But two, from my experience, that's not the easiest thing to do. And so I personally do prep, and I do have the drita soup. I have about 8 servings of that made at one time. So I make sure that I have as much as I can with the drita soup. So it's a lot easier for me to just, heat it up right away and then to consume it. I also have mentioned to people that I'm going to be releasing a PDF of just some of my staple drinks that I've had. Please bear with me, that's coming out soon, and maybe by the time I post this, or once this video is up and running, I'll put that link in the description once the PDF is released. And that'll just be a simple breakdown of how you guys can do this as well. Some of the things that I'm drinking on a daily basis. And so, like I said, I'm having smoothies, soups, I have a liquid porridge, a lot of different juices. I just made a carrot juice the other day that was really good. So I am exploring and trying new things. I'm making sure that I'm keeping a variety in all my drinks as well. And I'm finding that it's really supporting me, and it's been just a fun process to explore these various different drinks. And the last thing is, if you're not already somebody that's listening to my guru's daily satsangs, I really do recommend that as a 5th and final tip, because the spiritual truths are key to this. Again, this is a spiritual process. This is a journey of exploring the inner potential energy that is within you, and really connect you more to the divine, to connect you to Paramashiva, to God, however you feel connected to the divine. This process helps you in that. When you listen to powerful cognitions by enlightened beings, by the avatar, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, it only empowers you more and more as you go through this journey. And so if you're somebody that's on the process or on this journey already, and you're watching some satsangs maybe here and here or here and there, but missing some discourses, I really, really, really do recommend making sure that you watch every satsang, every discourse every day, because he's continuously empowering you and building off of one cognition and another. And he's giving you the techniques in order to continue exploring this process. That's been from my own experience. You know, some days, it was like day 18 actually, I was struggling at the very beginning with just going on the liquids only. And my guru was doing a satsang, and he gave me just the most powerful cognition that I needed to hear. And that was to continuously chant the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. This is a japa, continuously reverberating it within me to help me break that bond between this necessity of having food, because I was really starting to crave it early on. And it just helped me. It just set me on the exact path that I needed to go on. And so I really, really cannot stress enough listening to spiritual truths. And if you already have a guru, that's fine. Listen to his daily discourses. I guarantee you that will support you on your journey as well. It is something from my experience where it's really extraordinary to experience. And so yeah, I just wanted to give this video today, give you guys these tips, break them down nice and simple for you. If you have any questions, please do leave those in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer those at any point. And looking forward to sharing some more tips with you all in the future, because it's day 230 and I'm declaring I'm going to go for another full, or not another, but I'm going to go for a full year of just liquids only. And I'm having some fun exploring this process. So blessings to you in your journey of liquids only as well. And look forward to sharing some more content with you in the future. Take care, everybody. And as always, be blissful. Nithyananda.